Hello and welcome to the Overwatch Oasis League. My name is Charles, joined by Kirby at the desk today as we bring to you Week 21 and the final matchup of the Overwatch Oasis League Tier 3 regular season as Tater Tots take on Kosmic Omnics. Now, bit of a chaotic week here in the Overwatch Oasis League, no need ignoring the elephant in the room. So, after a recent shakeup, disqualified from the playoffs, meaning Kosmic Omnics and Tater Tots are now safe and have secured their playoff spots. That being said, still a very important seed position to play for here, Kirby.
Yeah, of course, and the big thing is right now it's very close between the 6th through the 8th seed. Diving Phoenix, they've already lost their game this week, so right now, one of these teams is going to be occupying the 6th seed after this game, and they'll get a date with Prodigy Noobs, I think, if they do win. The losers might have to play Stardust Crusaders or Valhalla. You know, no matter what you think of those teams, obviously getting the highest seed that you can usually means the easier the road. So the big scenario that we could see is Diving Phoenix could get the 8th seed if Tater Tots win in a map 5, but otherwise whoever wins this game will be the 6th seed, and whoever loses this game will be the 8th seed.
Now, if
that is
Tater
almost
Tots
certainly what is going to happen.
Win this on a map 5, that puts Kosmic Omnics and Diving Phoenix even on map record. If I'm not mistaken, we then go to a head-to-head to decide who gets the higher seeding?
Nope, for then we would go to the matchup of the series, whoever won the game, and in this case, Diving Phoenix lost to both of these teams in the regular season.
Okay, that's what I meant. Let me just go back and revisit the head-to-head record
from tiebreaker
earlier this season. All right, then just waiting for some lineups to come in. Don't get too attached here, chat, because both these teams, or at least as far as Kirby and I know from all the sniffing around we've been doing, have been looking at this dismantled White Walker squad and licking their lips, trying to pick up some juicy bits to fill out their rosters for playoffs. I know Kosmic Omnics specifically wanted to pick up wanted to pick up multiple players if possible. So watch this window, watch this space, watch the recruit chat, watch the trades chat. Tater Tots as well, I know, are trialing a couple players as well. So time come playoffs, there could be a lot of shakeups here in the league.
Well, right off the bat, we see Valhalla have already picked up 3 of the members. Ziptail, Pog, and Reflex all have been fantastic this season. That immediately increases their ceiling. Might even be the favorites right now to win the whole thing. Obviously, bolstering your lineup for the playoffs is always going to be a good thing. Teams will have to be careful, though. If they make these changes in the playoffs, they might not be able to, fall back on some of the stuff that they've worked on throughout the entire season, but overall to grab these players that have been great. I mean, White Walkers obviously were the 1 seed, looking to be the favorites to win the championship. Pretty much all of their players are pretty fantastic. Obviously, to add that to the lineup is definitely a good thing. And it looks like both of the teams are ready, and I do believe I have the correct lineups in.
Readies are coming
we are ready
through. So just a quick rundown on the lineups. Kosmic Omnics are going to start with Tenchi and Kitty on the tank line, Crossfire and Syndicate Slayer on the DPS lineup, and Cat and Mystic on the support line. On the other end, on Tater Tot side, it is Nerdy, Buttercat, and Jagex on the tank line, Psycho Mantis and Organic Kale playing DPS, and Spelia and Yuki here on the support lineup. Both teams playing 58, so not a lot of wiggle room SR-wise.
Yeah, and a lot of that is because of the new additions for Tater Tots here. Nerdy Buttercat, I think, is an 11 on tank. Actually does also play tank in Tier 2, so definitely a player they wanted to come in and bolster this tank lineup, be able to get a little bit more flexibility with Jag, who mainly plays the Reinhardt, and of course Yuki Yoshida coming in also pretty high, has been great on the support so far. Kosmic Omnics as well, they've got a lot of players that are definitely hugging that threshold of eligibility in Tier 3. Syndicate Slayer, Crossfire, I think are both pretty high plat. Kosmic Omnics will have to see how their new player does. Tenchi of Death, they recently picked this person up, maybe trying to get Kitty on more of a comfortable role, which is that off tank. They had been playing main tank for the last few games. It definitely was still successful. It could be even more successful if they keep her on off tank.
Alright, so both these teams choosing to take the high ground here. Oh, Cat is going to be on the Ana rather than the Bath that we're seeing so meta. Nerdy gets stunned out here, but stayed alive by the Batsi's Lucio double heals here. And I believe no shield here for Tenchi, who is forced to back up. But first pick of the series is going to come through as those Storm Arrows are going to catch out Yuki. A lot of healing unavailable now. Earthshatter comes out nice and early on. Nerdy Buttercat does fall over though, but things are looking good for the Tater Tots for the time being.
It was looking good for Kosmic Omnics right off the bat. Syndicate Slayer with a great off angle, able to take out Yuki Yoshida, but Nerdy Buttercat doing an excellent job at getting that ultimate charge. Yuki Yoshida with a nice immortality field there, allowing Nerdy Buttercat to go aggressive. And yeah, now we'll have to see how Tenchi responds, already losing the Shatter Battle.
Yeah, early picks coming through yet again. Both teams even at the moment, and Syndicate Slayer up on the high ground. A little bit uncontested. Yuki taking a lot of damage there as Jag gets chunked down to half as well. Tenchi now with the Earth Shatter ready to go, waiting for an opportunity. The Solar Shatter comes out onto Organic Kale. A lot of burst damage negated now that the Reaper is scotched. Dragons are going to commit it as well. And looks like just going to be a cleanup fest for Kosmic Omnics for the time being.
Yeah, and that was a great play there by Kosmic Omnics. They did a great job. They took the space that the Tater Tots gave them, and you typically don't want to fight on the point when you're the defending team as on Mecha base specifically, so they did a great job at taking that space. They have a slight high ground advantage.
Wall is going to come up here as Yuki gets taken out early yet again. Riptire committed here. Really good work. Good focus fire from all the Tater Tots to make sure the tire doesn't do any more damage. And it looks like a soft reset is going to come out. Jag X here with the grab is going to be crucial.
It's possible that they were calling for that tire because everyone was low and they wanted it right away, but it was too obvious going through the main choke.
Oh, and no ults, no fights, no picks, just walk up to point and it's yours, Kirby. Hello?
Yeah, that was a great rotation there by Tater Tot, but they still need to win the fight though.
Alright, Cycleman is going to commit the Blossom and Blizzard being thrown out here, as is the grab, as is the sound barrier. Tater Tots treating us to a good old-fashioned triangle fest here, and they still are able to hang on to the point. But look at those check marks lighting up a red and blue. It is a huge ultimate mismatch coming up on the side of the Kosmic Omnics.
For sure, but Kosmic Omnics are going to need to avoid a triangle party of their own because they won't be able to finish it off if they use all these ultimates.
So Kitty threw out the grab from her spawn, and it looked like Syndicate Slayer was all the way on the other side of the map. That grab dragon coming out from north and south are going to end up picking off two, as Kosmic Omnics are going to complete their rotation and complete their point capture. Last fight territory though, they're gonna have to play this pretty perfectly in order to continue to capture the point.
But they did exactly what I was talking about. They only used the grab dragons there. That was perfect. Great communication to take out Yuki Yoshida's immortality field, which was keeping them alive for a little bit. So now here we go, Crossfire with the tire. That's going to be their win condition for this next team fight.
Window is going to be committed first here on the side of Cat. The Shatter is going to come out, and Crossfire is not going to commit the tire because the damage has been done already. Kosmic Omnics, once again, with minimal investment, are going to be able to hold on here.
And I was actually completely wrong. I thought that Crossfire was going to initiate that team fight with the tire to drag it out, but now they have it for the final fight. Yuki Yoshida might have to come up big with a huge immortality field, and perhaps that's what Cross was doing, is trying to bait out that immortality field so he could have a free tire.
Early hook from Kitty is going to be pretty rough here, and Yuki just being batted around by the jungler. Immortality field is committed now, so Crossfire essentially has a free rip tire. Eventually, after lots of waiting, is going to let it rip. A triple kill is going to come through, and now it looks like it's going to be cleanup duty on the point now. Organic Kale now with the Death Blossom, only finding Syndicate Slayer, but it's going to cut down Tenchi. Oh my goodness, the fight is alive, the fight is ready to go, and it's just the Lucio Reaper duel on point. Kale is going to... Ooh. Really good stall from Into the Mystic to make sure support arrived. Kitty with the bubble is absolutely crucial here, but the window being committed here from Yuki could be the fight turner, as Kitty is going to go down. The Deadeye now committed as well. Psycho Mantis can turn this around, but now the Syndicate Slayer has anything to say about it. Oh my goodness, Shatter coming out as well. Syndicate Slayer finding two. Crossfire coming in now on the Tracer. Cosmic Omnics looks so good and eventually are going to pick up the win here on Busan.
Unfortunately, with the amplification matrix there, it was put too far back that Tater Tots, they had to contest the point, so they couldn't really make use of that amplification matrix that could have turned it around. Perhaps if only one person was on the point contesting, then the rest of them could have used it to a higher level, but overall, Tenchi of Death actually starting to swing the Rhine battle in his favor. That was great job by him here in his debut match, hitting a lot of great shatters, finding those openings. This is exactly the type of tank play that Cosmic Omnics need, because that's kind of been one of their issues throughout the season, is finding the stable tank lineup that they want to roll with.
Well, both teams running the Widowmaker. The Widow duel has kicked off already, but Psycho Mantis does have the pocket and is going to take Cat down nice and early on. Crossfire choosing not to take the high ground is interesting here, as looks like all the sightlines are able to be dominated by Psycho Mantis.
I don't hate Crossfire not taking the high ground, because he's not committing to the Widow 1v1. He's trying to take out the backline members, which obviously he didn't do in that first team fight, but in theory, I don't hate that if you don't want to take on the Widow right off the bat.
Well, speaking of taking on the Widow, Crossfire has managed to get a very good flank on Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis unsighted as they were looking straight down choke. And it looks like an early capture is going to come out here, but Organic Kale taking attention means that gap is going to continue to increase.
And that's the problem with only taking out the Widow. You get a huge advantage in terms of the range of any sort of Widow comp, but other than that, you know, the rest of the comp here from Tater Tots is pretty brawly, so they're still going to need to win that, and it's up to the Widowmaker, Crossfire, to take that advantage. And if you can't make the most of it, then taking out the Widow will mean almost nothing.
Well, now Crossfire is now onto the Tracer, almost one-clip Psycho Mantis, who barely manages to get away, but Crossfire is absolutely relentless, switching off the Widow straight over onto the Tracer for those picks. Diva Bomb is going to come out on the side of Kitty, who somehow does not get shattered there, interestingly enough. Not sure how that happened.
I think it got blocked by the Amp Matrix.
Well, that's a VOD review. Syndicate Slayer with a double with the Dragons and the DPS on the side of Cosmic Omnics have cleaned up the point. The point is going to swing back over now. Tater Tots, though, able to get 74% on the clock.
Yeah, that is interesting. Is Defense Matrix able to block Shatter? I don't think it ever was, but that appeared to be the only thing that possibly could have blocked it.
I think it could be that the Matrix wasn't technically in play yet, and the game hadn't registered that as a full character model. Hey, listen, I'm not smart enough for this discussion, but what I am smart enough to tell is that Organic Kale has a little blue checkmark next to his name. Now with the Rip Tire ready to go, but Psycho Man is being taken down, means that Kale is just have to hold off on that. And oh my goodness, a shatter coming up from Tenchi is going to catch Aspelia out, and Cosmic Omnics not taking any chances here, pushing forward, trying to get as much ultra and as many picks as possible here. Both teams choosing to brawl, and that's going to be really brutal on the side of Tater Tots, because remember, that brawl, they were still a man down. They were 5-on-6 as Speely had not returned then. And things are going to swing back over on the side of Kosmic Omnics. Now, Kirby, 2 Brawl teams, but one team is playing a Mercy.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the Kosmic Omnics team comp, and they even have really good support ults coming up here if Into the Mystic can time this sound barrier right. They actually have 2 win conditions to block Organic Gale's tire. It's going to be tough for him to find that value.
Oh no, Mance is caught in a bit of a rough spot here, but Organic Gale popping off, getting rid of Tenshi, and the tire is going to come out straight into the back, nope, straight over towards Crossfire, interestingly enough, but that is going to be enough to help Tater Tots crack the point open, and we are now just the supports left on the bridge to have to contend with, and a really good pin coming up from Jagai's Cat, completely unsighted. That's going to be absolutely brutal. Into the Mystic, desperately stalling, trying to hold on as Tenshi's just going to deleted, exiting as quickly as they arrived here. Taterbots now get control of the point. Yet again, it is one fight territory for both these teams.
And great job by Tater Tots to force out that sound barrier early. It means that they knew the tire was an easy win condition for them. They used it, and that's the only ult they needed to use. They have 5 ults. I think we might be going into the tiebreaker round here.
Our early dragons are going to be committed here, and is going to be gobbled up by a very hungry Diva mech. Psycho Mantis is going to find a pick with the Deadeye as well. Jack is choosing to swing, not using the Shatter for the time being, but the window might call for a difference. And finally, the hammer does come down. Supports are laid down on their back, and it is up for the Taters just to clean the point. Now into the Mystic once again on the Lucio, desperately trying to stall, but is going to eat a hammer to the face. The Genji dash straight into the Rhyme Pin as well as gotta hurt. Things are 1-1, a tiebreaker indeed, Kirby. One of the very few predictions you and I get correct on the desk.
That is true. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you put White Walkers in last in the power rankings and you never hear the end of it. But that was a great job by Nerdy Buttercat to be able to eat that Dragons. I mean, that really was just about the only way that Kosmic Omnics were going to win that last team fight. Definitely could have zoned them off the point, made it easier for Crossfire to hit a pulse bomb. And now we'll have to see what the adjustments are going to be made here. Looks like we might see a Sigma coming out from Tater Tots. They might be looking to run some double shield, and now they're off the Mercy, so committing a little more to a brawly comp.
But no Lucio. I don't understand. You're playing Ryan Zarya, Kirby.
They don't have Lucio on either side, so technically it's a pretty even mirror match, except for a little bit more one-tap potential. Well, both of the teams have a one-tap potential in the Hanzo and the Junkrat. Mainly the difference is the double shield.
Oh, Tenshi gets chunked down super low and decides the appropriate answer is to pin in there. Into the Mystic, desperately trying to keep everybody up. Organic Hell, she's just able to lay down the damage on that Junkrat. Already 2/3 of their way to a Riptire. And now it is up to Kitty to try to make sure she doesn't get staggered. Health is there, and a personal bubble has arrived as well, so she does get out unscathed.
Yep, and Syndicate Slayer gonna swap to the Genji. Actually, this swap is risky because Tater Tots do have the Moira. We'll see if they're gonna be able to get value. At least if Syndicate Slayer does good, he can get maybe Jag to go back to Zarya, so it's more of a Ryan-Zarya battle, which we saw, obviously, Kosmic Omnics get the better of Taters on Mecha Base.
Both these teams just taking their time jostling for position here, but waiting for Syndicate Slayer to return back into the fight. Dueling Coalescences are going to come out, as is the Riptire, along with the Flux. It almost looked like the tire was used to bait the ammo field out, and the Flux following up there, not catching anybody, as it looks like the picks are going to come out onto the side of Kosmic Omnics instead. The defending team here, the Taters, had a lot going for them, and they had a lot of ults and caught out basically nobody, Kirby.
And that was a fantastic immortality field by Cat there. Perfect timing, made sure Kale detonated the tire when he thought he could get big value, but Instead, it just destroyed the immortality field. And then Tenchi with a great flank shatter. Almost didn't get the follow-up, but got the nice pin onto Nerdy Buttercat, took him out, made sure that the Ryan battle was clearly in his favor.
Tenchi once again gets chunked down extremely low here. Losing Mystic early on is going to be brutal. Cat desperately trying to keep everybody alive, but it's going to be too little too late. Immortality field being chucked on just to try to get Kitty out of there. As the grab is not going to be committed here. That's a... They had grab blade, Kirby.
They did, and Kitty used the grab before Syndicate Slayer died, but he was so low and couldn't get the healing. If he could have gotten a little bit of healing, I think they could have turned that around. That's unfortunate. At least Red Hood Kitty is going to take this opportunity to swap to the D.Va, but I almost think now that Jag is on the Zarya, they should commit to the Ryan Zarya mirror.
I agree, and I was also very excited seeing Kitty and Syndicate Slayer next to each other because I could switch from the grab to the blade POV, but here we are complaining afterwards. Nerdy Buttercat with the shatter ready to go. Shield on the side of Tenchi looks pretty low here, and Crossfire being taken. Oh, Jag is going to go down to an opening now for Cosmic Omnics to push forward here. Earth Shatter is going to come, as is the blade, as Belia Coalescence means there is no fate. The deflect on the flashbang is absolutely enormous. Syndicate Slayer with a triple kill, hacking, slashing, and dashing away in the backline. What a blade, what a play from Cosmic Omnics.
But Tater Tots are incredibly content with that, coming into this next fight with 4 ultimates, basically 0 for Cosmic Omnics. It's going to be tough. Crossfire is going to need to come up huge, take out someone in the backline in order to, you know, make this team fight winnable, or perhaps Cat's going to need to use another great immortality field to block Organic Kale's tire.
Well, Crossfire is going to get stunned out and is forced to take a really safe and a far back position here, so not able to engage nearly cleanly as they'd like. Punching in is going to take out Nerdy Buttercat for the time being, but really good grab coming out, catching 2 along with the tire to D-Mech. Kitty is going to be absolutely enormous. Cosmic Omnics still have control of the point for the time being, but eventually it is going to swing back over onto the side of Tater Tots, and now, oh no! That's a brutal solo shatter, and Tater Tots are going to walk away 1-0 leaders of the series here in the Overwatch Oasis League.
And this is the thing you have to be careful for when playing Tater Tots. They are great at knowing their win conditions with their ults, making sure they stay disciplined. They've legitimately been one of the better ulting teams in the league. And so if you're losing those advantages like we saw Cosmic Omnics do at the end of the team fight that they won there on Sanctuary, you're gonna run into problems. And it was unfortunate there. Cat had to use the immortality field early in order to save their Ryan, and obviously that made the tire pretty free. Actually, more so than the tire, it made the grab free, and there was good follow-up on the grab as well from Jag, which it is kind of interesting. You know, I was talking about Jag being the main tank. Well, he's actually playing some off-tank here, so possibly something the Tater Tots have up their sleeve that Nerdy Buttercat can come in and play some main tank for them. It'll be interesting to see then what McBrantis' role on the team is going to be, because typically you would have Jag and McBrantis, where Jag is the Ryan and McBrantis is the Zarya. So we'll kind of see as this game goes on. We'll probably see some other tank combinations and see what Tater Tots do with them.
Well, there's the viewers flooding in now. His stream cord was broken, and so Jibba had to manually at everyone in the server. But our numbers are back up. For those of you just joining us, it is Charles and Kirby on the desk. Tater Tots lead Cosmic Omnics 1-0 so far. As far as the stakes go, these teams playing for essentially 6th place in their standings. There are a couple conditions where it comes out that one of them could end up taking 7th, but 6, 7, and 8 up for grabs, but 6 and 8 are like the 95% probability plays here. There is once again a very slight chance someone ends up in 7th, but 6 and 8 up for grabs in this series. after the recent shakeup in the league and White Walkers being disqualified from the playoffs. This was going to be a winner-takes-all series, but now it is a winner-takes-sixth place, which, hey, any stakes are good stakes, Kirby.
Well, technically, it wasn't going to be a winner is automatically in, because there was the slight possibility that the main scenario that could have happened is Tater Tots win in a map 5. Both Taters and Cosmic Omnics make the playoffs, and Diving Phoenix actually gets taken out. And that's the scenario in which a losing team could get the 7 seed. Otherwise, we're for sure going to see the winning team get the 6 seed, but it's almost certain that the losing team's going to get the 8 seed, unless Cosmic Omnics.
I feel like our scriptwriters are getting too creative. I don't know. Like there's with all the math we're doing here and the past week's events, I feel like the scriptwriter's got to tone it down. I don't know if I believe everything that's happening. The plot line kind of went out of control, and it's hard for me to stay grounded in the storyline.
Well, it's just crazy that all 3 of these teams kind of are literally right next to each other. 4 and 6/7 Diving Phoenix, 4 and 7 now, with very similar map differentials.
I'm just waiting for some readies to come in here. Like you said, Kirby, Tater Tots very good at alt management and very good at making sure they recognize their win conditions. That being said, both these teams kind of giving up early picks early on in the fights a lot of times. And we see in the neutral, especially as the rounds start, that's what tends to hurt them most.
Yeah, we're going to have to see it. It might be up to these DPS to make big plays, get into those back lines, and find those opening picks, and it's going to be up to the supports on both of these teams to make sure that doesn't happen. And we'll kind of see what happens with this tank battle as well. I think it's been pretty even so far. Tenchi actually has shown some nice things, as I should probably look. Okay. So we're going to have Nerdy Buttercat staying in, but McBrantis is going to come in for Jag. Psychomantis and Kale are going to stay. And Mugen Cypher is going to come in for Asbelia. As for Cosmic Omnics... Ooh, interesting. We're going to have our Demo come in to play support. And then AJ will join Crossfire, so Syndicate Slayer will hit the bench for now. Tank line will remain the same, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see our Demo here on support, mainly playing DPS for that Zanchin Tactics team. He's been really good this season. We'll have to see. Obviously, Cosmic Omnics, they have several DPS to their name, obviously Crossfire, AJ, and Syndicate Slayer, but we'll see. Maybe we will see our Demo play some DPS today as well, because I think this Cosmic Omnics could benefit from having someone that can more consistently play those hit scan roles like our Demo usually does.
Yeah, and Kosmic Omnics as well, kind of known for being very happy to use their flexibility. And not afraid to switch people. We know we've seen Kitty on the Sim this season. And we know Wukong switches between support and tank a lot, and now our Demo flexing over. So not really a stranger towards playing the same players on different roles. So really, really interested to see how this comes out as we just wait for some readies to come out in chat.
I should probably swap the map as well to Blizzard World. I keep forgetting that I'm in charge of the lobby. Let's see. There it is, Blizzard World. I'll check one more time to make sure I have competitive rules on, and they certainly are.
Blizzard World here is has been one of my favorite maps recently, just because of how Double Bubble has been so popular and not quite meta, because there isn't really a set meta right now. It's very map dependent, but a lot of teams happy to run the Zarya Monkey on Blizzard World, and there are also two kind of schools of thought on how to engage with the monkey. A lot of teams believing that the Zarya bubble should come out first. A lot of teams believing that the monkey bubble should come out first. I think the Zarya bubble should always be engaged first because that is the correct way to do things. But that's a fight for another time. But the double bubble here, able to lock down the high ground, could be absolutely enormous. And we've also seen teams do okay with like a Sigma Reinhardt here and using the Sigma to control all the high ground on this map.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see some Ryan Sigma. I've got to be honest, I'd be surprised if we see either of these teams stray away from Ryan comps. That's mainly what they've been running all season. You know, we'll see. Obviously, Tenchi, a new character or a new player here, might have more tricks up his sleeve, and they were just favoring Reinhardt on Busan, and now, yeah, going to Blizzard World, getting that high ground control is pretty important, especially next to Flight of Duskwood, so the monkey can definitely be a really good pick on Blizzard World.
We have readies coming out here, so we'll be jumping in shortly. Tater Tots lead the series 1-0 against Kosmic Omnics. Remember, playoff spots are up for... Well, playoff spots are confirmed, but...
playoff
seed positions are up for grabs. I'm nervous because Nation's in chat.
And, Charles, are we gonna do the thing?
Let's do it. Let's do the thing.
Okay.
Let's do the thing. Let's hit with the swap-a-roo.
Okay, well, here we go, heading on to Blizzard World. Obviously, Tater Tots up 1-0. Well, not obviously, in case you missed the first map, but we are going to see here if Kosmic Omnics can reclaim the lead. They actually have seen a lot more success, I think, on those control maps, but also that is the case for Tater Tots as well. They've been pretty solid on those control maps, so we'll have to see. You could argue that this is the start of a new game on these more escort defense attack style game modes.
And a very heavy heals support line coming up. Mugency and Cypher and Yuki on this support lineup. The BAP on a lineup means that raw numbers is not going to be the problem. It's going to be about we might be missing some utility here, but yeah, Nerdy Buttercat is going to get a pocket of a lifetime, Kirby.
Yeah, for sure, and we do actually see Tenchi gonna go for the Winston, so not quite double bubble, but we also have seen the classic dive tanks come out in the Overwatch League, so this is definitely... Kosmic Omnics, they just want to commit to being able to take that high ground, and look at this, Tater Tots, they're already gonna abandon it right now, so Crossfire up in the air on that Pharah, trying to get the value, doesn't have to worry about a hit scan as of right now. AJ on that Signature Sombra, here comes Tenchi, getting slept right off the bat by Mugen Cypher, woken up right away, anti onto Red Hood Hoodie, still in the Immortality field, out from Cat, and Organic Hail is the first to fall. Red Hood Kitty able to survive, amazing healing from Cat, and now the fight is firmly in the hands of Kosmic Omnics, but Nerdy Buttercat with 2 kills on both of the tanks, and Psycho Mantis taking out Crossfire.
Yeah, wow. It looked so good for Cosmics, Kirby. And I just wanted to point out that as the fight was progressing, a very, very textbook dismantling of the high ground here, as... Of course, we had the rockets and the dive come out onto that top right high ground, but then Anime Weeb AJ immediately going out over to the boat balloons here, as I like to call it, on the back platform to dislodge the hits, the snipers, but now all of a sudden, we're still committing to this fight, Kirby.
I'm surprised at this too. Crossfire only gets 1 with the barrage, but it might be enough. The main source of damage in this brawl comp from the Reaper is gone, and I think that's gonna be it. So a chaotic first team fight, neither team wanting to give it up. I thought Cosmic Omnics were certainly gonna lose that, but they actually had a great dive onto Psycho Mantis and he got taken out. So now here we go, payload gonna start moving, and Crossfire continuing to get picks here on the Pharah.
Yeah, I believe Anime got a hack out there as well with a duo with a pocketed Pharah and a Sombra around. You can't really play that overzealous, but Nano Ryan is going to come out.
And unfortunately, no one from Kosmic Omnics escorting the payload, so a chance for the spawn camp strategy that we actually saw in the Atlanta Reign versus Toronto Defiant game. We'll see how Taters want to position this, but this can be a tough position for attacking teams to be in. So AJ has the EMP available. Nerdy Buckcat already incredibly low. He got hacked. Will they be able to take him out? No, he's going to be able to get away. Here comes the Dragons, but it's not going to get anyone because McBrantis wasn't there to combo the Graviton Surge. And now Tenchi getting into the backlines here with that Primal Rage. Gets caught, is able to get away. Crossfire able to take out Mugen Cypher. That's a huge pick. No res will be available. Crossfire still looking for those picks. Already thinking about attacking up point C here, and look at this. Tater Tots, they're so focused on Crossfire that the payload just continues to move through point B here. Tenchi up on the high ground, trying to regain that ult charge. Anime Weed, AJ getting in position. Here comes the EMP bomb. It's
oh
massive!
my goodness!
5K! Unbelievable! And that right there, folks, is almost certainly going to be point B captured by Kosmic Omnics. Great EMP bomb. Doesn't get much better than that.
Anime was so patient there, waiting for that perfect EMP, and not afraid to decloak and just continue to go for those vanilla hacks, trusting their ability to play away from that flashbang, trusting their trigger on that R1 to make sure they got out in time. And over again, I was expecting Anime to come up with the EMP, as was Tater Tots, but that happens enough. You assume it doesn't ever come out, but that Diva Bomb comboed with that EMP, absolutely textbook, but so hard to pull off in such dramatic fashion.
Great immortality field out from Yuki Yoshida to save everyone from the barrage Crossfire, and that's gonna give the go button to Kale, who did get one pick with the Death Blossom, but did enough damage to make sure that Tater Tots are gonna most likely win this fight anyway. Crossfire and our Demo were in the backline trying to find some more picks, but they will go down. So now here we go, just a little bit over 3.5 minutes in the time bank. Kosmic Omnics looking to complete the map.
Ooh, just touching a little bit of Crossfire just being caught out here, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we now see both teams reverting over to the Brawl. Anime is going to stick onto that Sombra, that the EMP is not super far away. Doesn't really need to be comboed with anything here, Kirby. Things are looking pretty good, though, for the Tater Tots. Lots of blue check marks coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. The amplification matrix from both teams is out. Nerdy Buttercat gets his shatter blocked. Tenchi still on his way building to his, and Cat able to take out Organic Kale. That means Crossfire's gonna have a lot of room to work with. Actually, Mugen Cypher with a sneaky res, and there's the grab from McBrantis. Organic Kale able to take out Tenchi, and that is gonna be the retreat called from Kosmic Omnics. Still got quite a bit of time left in the time bank, but great ultimate usage there from Tater Tots.
Nerdy Buttercat, they're taking a little bit of an interesting and unconventional pathing here. Whenever they got into trouble, just hiding into this right door here next to the payload instead of dropping up left towards spot, and that has been crucial in keeping them alive. Another EMP bomb! Kirby! They cannot be allowed to get away with this.
And I don't know if it's up to Yuki Yoshida making sure they need to position right to get those immortality fields. It is very tricky, because if you position too far back, obviously the Sombra can hack you. So now here we go, the payload approaching point C. Crossfire trying to get in position, almost has that Death Blossom online. Not a lot of ults coming online for Tater Tots, and AJ able to take out Psychomat. Is anyone going to be able to touch him? No! A massive C9 from Tater Tots, and I am willing to call that, even though the Kosmic Omnics were most likely going to win that team fight, but it was still a 5v6, and some unfortunate mistakes here from Tater Tots, as now they're gonna have a uphill battle to try and equalize this time bank. Not an unheard of time bank, obviously, by any means, but obviously whenever someone sets a time bank of a minute or more, you're automatically pressured to only lose so many fights.
It's achievable, but extremely frustrating, because like you said, as much as the term C9 is thrown around too much, that was a good old-fashioned C9, my friends. They had time together, they had the numbers to fight that.
We've been seeing a lot of those lately.
Well, we are plat players, Kirby.
That's true, but we weren't really experiencing as many that were as bad as some of the ones we've seen like in the past week. I think I was commentating and we saw one in the We the Ops Stardust Crusaders game. So
well, that just sounds like funny, a standard We the Ops game.
Before this week started, I was actually thinking, you know what we should do? We should make a compilation of the top 10 C9s of the season, and honestly, I think like 5 of them would be coming from this week, which is kind of hilarious.
So something I want to point out here, the stuff of Kosmic Omnics, they are so very good at following up with Anime's hack targets here. If you recall, even just the beginning of the fight, right at the end there, it was a hack onto the McCree that Kitty was then able to dive onto extremely aggressively. And now, as soon as the supports take off, Anime is all over Yuki, who does an extremely good job keeping themselves alive, Kirby.
So we're gonna have to... We got Psycho Mantis on the far here. It's actually a double birds comp coming out from Tater Tots, but Organic Kale takes themselves out on accident. That gives the go button to Crossfire. Nerdy Buttercat not going to be able to survive for too long there.
Yeah,
so
I believe
the first team fight victory here for Kosmic Omnics.
I believe Organic Kale was hacked out of the air there, and Psycho Mantis was then able to take the Sombra out through a really, really good boop. And Anime Weave was forced to use recall straight into another set of rockets there.
So Psycho Mantis was able to get one before he fell, but that sadly won't really mean too much, as you know, it was a full reset basically for Taters anyway. AJ up on the high ground here looking for those hacks. Just have to be careful not to get caught out. Actually, some close calls. Crossfire getting close to that tire. That might be the win condition for Kosmic Omnics in this next team fight. Early nade coming out from Yuki. And there's the dive from Nerdy and McBrantis. It at least takes Kosmic Omnics off the high ground, and now Mugen Cypher gonna pop the Valkyrie. Crossfire is down, only 1% away from that tire. AJ building up the EMP, he launches it. Will it be enough though, because Cat is also down. Red Hood Kitty able to find one. Team fight still up for grabs. Psycho Mantis has the barrage ready, but is hacked. Can they take him down? Red Hood Kitty building up the Gravitic Flux. It does take out Yuki Yoshida, who was able to get the Nano Boost onto McBrantis. Crossfire coming in with a tire. It doesn't really find anything because Nerdy Buttercat able to pop the Primal Rage and take out Tenchi. So now here we go. It's about a 2v2, maybe 3v3 on the point right now. Organic Kale gonna use the duplicate onto the Sigma. Still incredibly close. Good amplification matrix from Cat, forcing Tater Tots back, and Nerdy Buttercat goes down to Crossfire. Mugen Cypher is gonna be able to get that resin. Here comes the bomb from McBrantis. It finds two. Great flank shatter from Tenchi though. That's so many picks in favor of Kosmic Omnics. They're gonna turn this around. Can you believe it?
Oh my goodness, so much chaos. There's so much to break down. Organic Kale was taken out. I believe the dupe expired right in the middle of the flux, so none of the damage was able to come through. That bomb from Brantis was so enormous as well, but Kale with that shatter. I want to point out Anime Weave, AJ, and Psycho Mantis here. No hit scan, no problems here. Psycho Mantis during that fight was hacked again, EMP, and then hacked again. That ult has been sitting there for 60 seconds, but Psycho Mantis has been hacked for like 45 to 50 of those seconds. Absolutely brutal from Anime to hard counter Psycho with those hacks and with those EMPs.
Psycho Mantis able to get two with the barrage. Will that be the opening they need? Crossfire throwing in the tire. It gets two. Is that going to be enough? AJ so close to that EMP. Is trying to get in position. Crossfire's found three in this team fight. AJ taking out Psycho Mantis. KO doesn't need a hit scan, but McBrantis keeping this team fight alive. Ardemo and AJ here on the point. Red Hood Kitty on their way. Only one tick needed here for Tater Tots, but the picks are coming fast enough. And there's the EMP. Both McBrantis and Mugen Cypher get hit by it, but the reinforcements for both teams are back. Cat expends the Immortality Field early. Ardemo has that sound barrier, but
saving the beat
goes down. It's so close. The tanks are so low on the side.
No shield.
Tater Tots. Great Mugen Cypher res onto Nerdy Buttercat and Ardemo. who used the sound barrier to try and close out this map, is going to go down. Crossfire able to find the pick on the Psycho Mantis. It is still incredibly up for grabs. AJ trying to find the picks. Wasn't able to translocate to a safe location. We do
switch onto
see
the ball.
Deck
They're committing to the top, to the stall.
ball. And here comes our Demo. The picks are certainly not going as fast as you would hoped. McBrantis incredibly low from the stick from Crossfire, and Tenchi able to take out Yuki. Are you kidding me?
Shadow comes down. Tyler's committed, Kirby.
Kale. It's able to take out
Oh
Tenchi,
my
and that
goodness.
will be the point. Captured by Tater Tots. And it was incredibly lucky, as you could argue, that at the end of the day, Kosmic Omnics won that team fight. Unbelievable.
Chat, talk to me. That is absolute chaos, and I think Kosmic Omnics was so close to have their decisions there pay off in their favor. Switching over onto the ball, onto that stall hero, crossfire onto that Tracer, able to farm up Pulse Bomb, and then now so close to the second one as well. Extremely good stall, a pity that it didn't work out for them.
Great EMP coming out from Anime Weeb. AJ, he does go down, but this is already forcing Tater Tots back. They don't want to even contest this point with the amplification matrix out from Cat. But no other picks aside from the initial two. And here comes Yuki Yoshida actually committing the sound barrier. Tenchi of Death goes down, as well as Red Hood Kitty. Both of these tanks are down. And now Kosmic Omnics on the back foot. They're going to have to get out of here. McBrantis is going to try and chase them down. Will they be able to get any stagger kills? Doesn't really look like it, and we will see a likely stabilization from Kosmic Omnics before the payload reaches even the middle of point B here.
Ooh, Shatter's blocked here, and Anime's so good, already halfway to another EMP.
And that's a great Graviton Surge from Red Hood Kitty, but the follow-up just isn't there. It was actually a great eat from McBrantis. I think Kosmic Omnics were trying to combo the grab with the Pulse Bomb. McBrantis throwing in the Diva Bomb. That was just to kind of confirm that team fight. Anime Weeb AJ is going to try and contest for as long as he can. That's going to be it, and now here we go. Kosmic Omnics, maybe a little flustered right now. We're incredibly close to getting that full hold, and now you're looking at possibly Tater Tots getting even another attack, which looked completely unfeasible there for a little bit on point A.
Well, regardless of how they do here, they are going to end up with a smaller time bank here. And Anime already with another EMP ready to go. Nothing crazy to combo with. Maybe the Shatter can catch up on the side of Tenchi, but they've shown in the past they don't really need a combo with that EMP to be able to get a lot of work done.
Dirty Buttercat and Tenchi trading swings, and there's the EMP. It's a six-man comboing it with the Shatter. Tenchi does go down. There's a lot of damage onto him. Psycho able to find another one as well and take out Crossfire too. He's on the off angle, getting peeled by Yuki Yoshida. Now it's AJ versus Psycho Mantis, and Psycho Mantis wins that 1v1.
What a shot.
So overall, Taters are gonna win this team fight. Kosmic Omnics on the back foot once again, and that EMP really didn't do a whole lot. Organic Kale from the high ground using the tire, maybe hoping they could get a pick into the sound barrier. Wasn't enough. Ardemo obviously used that. So now Yuki Yoshida gonna respond with a sound barrier of their own to try and help Taters get aggressive here. Nice res from Mugen Cypher onto Organic Kale. That was a nice shatter from Nerdy Buttercat. Will it be enough to turn this around? Psycho Mantis able to get one with the high noon. Unfortunate Cat not able to hit that sleep dart. People still on the point here for Kosmic Omnics, so we are going to see one more contest, and almost certainly Kosmic Omnics able to get this last fight into overtime, which means Taters are only going to be able to settle for a draw, so let's see.
Crossfire hiding here with the tire.
Nice tire from Crossfire. That's 3 kills, and that's going to be the map, folks. At least that's what it's looking like. Only the tanks here available on the side of Tater Tots, and they're already incredibly low. Nerdy Buttercat built up the Shatter, but died before they could use it. And Kosmic Omnics, despite a little bit of a scare there after almost getting the full hold, are going to hold on and win the map and tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, Kosmic Omnics being able to squeeze out results right at the end here. Yeah, Tater Tots look not obviously did not look like the stronger side over the course of the map, but ultimately, first of all, what a play! Ultimately, was able to like through the finest of margins and chaos fights be able to win. But it's eventually when the defensive spawn is so good for Cosmic Omnics, that's going to be really, really difficult to follow up on. Anime Weeb AJ, absolutely enormous display on that Sombra, able to take duels, able to charge through the neutral fight, half to a three quarters of their EMP. Basically had it every two fights, maybe a little less than that, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Able to counter the Pharah with a Sombra as well is absolutely ridiculous. Psychomantis had no fun up in the air there. So really good work to Cosmic Omnics. I think they definitely deserve that map, and they probably deserved like to end that quicker as well, especially with that really, really good stall at the end of point 8.
Yeah, like we said, in the moment, I think you could argue that Cosmic Omnics overall won that last fight, but it was organic Chaos Tire that forced Cosmic Omnics. They tried to spread out, get off the point, and Tater Tots only needed about half a tick, so only being off the point for 3 seconds in that situation basically gave it to the Tater Tots. So, yeah, great series on our hands so far. Again, I wish this was winner is in, loser goes home, because then this would just be an unbelievably tense series. But obviously, still a lot of definitely a different vibe, I think, between going 5 and 6 and 4 and 7. At least when it comes to confidence going into the playoffs.
Absolutely, because I mean, first of all, the gap there, the skill gap between last seed and first seed is going to be enormous. So being able to avoid that, and also like an underdog mindset is never a bad thing, but an eighth against first underdog mindset might be a little bit too much to overcome, especially in those high pressure scenarios. A lot of teams, despite our best efforts, we all let our head drop from time to time. So we definitely need to. Both these teams definitely want to put themselves in a scenario where they don't really have to climb that uphill battle, because the fairy tale stories are great, but they're also incredibly difficult to accomplish. So both these teams just hoping for the most boring and standard route to the grand finals as possible.
Well, one thing to bring up is if we see Cosmic Omnics lose this game and take the 8 seed, they play Stardust Crusaders, which Stardust Crusaders had to reverse sweep them in order to beat them a couple weeks ago. So already a low seed that you could
cause some trouble.
See taking out an early seed. And, even this Tater Tots team, like, they've had several issues throughout the season, but at the end of the day, they are a pretty mechanically skilled team, and they've been using ultimates very well this season. I mean, Tater Tots are definitely a team that you're not going to want to look past either.
Yeah, Tater Tots, like you said, are really good at making sure they stagger their ults and recognizing their win conditions, and that kind of game sense and that kind of communication can never be counted out, especially in those high pressure playoff scenarios. This is a team that knows how to talk to each other, knows how to communicate, and knows most crucially how to communicate and listen to each other.
So I need to let's check. Do we have the new lineups in? We have the new lineup for Cosmic Omnics, as I will swap. We'll get Temple of Anubis up and running. Swap the spectators.
I feel like to fill time between maps, we should just play Kirby's podcast. but
Yeah,
not in any like
honestly.
like not in like off my phone straight into my mic, so we can blow out everyone's
Yeah.
eardrums. Would be the way to go.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't joined the Kirby Cast Discord, that is now the only place that you can find those podcasts. So I believe it's somewhere up in self-promotion. I also posted it on my Twitter at one point, so a couple places that you can find it. And we just released a mini episode today, actually discussing the White Walker situation. But the next episode of the main podcast proper is going to be the playoff preview, and I plan on getting some guests for that, and I think that is going to be a great one. We did it last year, me, Wukong, Zanny, and Zoomsbury. It was a great, great show, and I'm excited to do it again.
Now
As we see... Okay, there it is. Timo is going to come in here to play DPS. With
Kitty at DPS as well.
Cross is gonna stay.
No, I can't read. I'm so silly. That's my fault.
I'm starting, I get that confused as well.
Kitty, that is.
It looks like their map total is a player and a number.
It looks like Anubis is playing tank for them. Kitty, that is formatting that I do not agree with. Kitty, I will see you in your DMs.
We're gonna see Jag and McBrantis come in for it's their first time being the tank duo. DPS line gonna stay the same as to be expected. They don't have another DPS on the bench right now. If Jibba were here, they would have another. But
I believe Jibba's in chat.
Gonna come back.
But no, Jibba's not going to be able to make it into the lobby tonight. I really like that the Tater's spreadsheet has a big green eligible at the bottom to make sure the math is correct. I think that's very cute.
Yeah. As if the screenshot would ever imply ineligible.
Yeah, just throw that up there, boys. In case you weren't able to count past 58, the spreadsheet's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, what if just one day they post one of their spreadsheets that have it ineligible and they're like, oops, not that one. Like,
well, and then we play them and they're like, hey, we told you. Listen, we told you it was ineligible and you played it anyway. So the league okayed it and we won the map and it counts. Every little advantage counts. You just got to sneak your way in.
yeah, I'm excited to once again see Jag McBrantis. I mean, that's been the tank duo for them for most of the season at this point. Psycho Mantis was eligible on tank for a little bit at the beginning of the season. Is no longer eligible now, so... But obviously we've seen Nerdy Buttercat, he's already playing quite well. I mean, he's played in Tier 2, you know, he's no one to mess with either, so... But I definitely think there's still some growing pains in terms of synergy between Jag and Nerdy, or McBrantis and Nerdy, that I think kind of need some more time to simmer. So having Jag and McBrantis coming back in, that you know they have that synergy, might be the key to taking Temple of Anubis here.
Well, and it's also just a map. I mean, it's 2 CP, so it requires a frankly silly amount of coordination to be able to capture point B here. So having, like you said, having the synergy is definitely going to be able to help them out. But not just that. We know McBride is a great diva player, and given that we're probably going to see a ungodly amount of Junkrat nades come through today, it can't hurt to have that Matrix online.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Cosmic Omnics will do here with their new DPS line. I won't be surprised if we see our Demo come in to play that long range hit scan, to play like Widow or Ashe. It's going to be Crossfire that I think is going to be kind of the wild card here. Will he play one of those more projectile spam characters, or are we going to possibly see Cosmic Omnics go for more of a double hit scan route and maybe play some McCree?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in lobbies for Temple of Anubis and see nobody lock the Junkrat and don't really understand. But we know that over time, Echo has slowly become increasingly popular on this map, and the attacking Widow is often picked as well, not to get any picks, but just to dislodge the treehouse and to help their team create space. Because even if your Widow gets no picks here, just the Widow existing alone can buy you half the space, half the map's worth of space, which is absolutely crucial on point A.
For sure, and that might also mean we see Psycho Mantis coming in to play the Widow as well, which she has played to quite a high level, actually. I would know because his Widowmaker almost single-handedly ended our season in our tiebreaker game against them. So Tater Tots maybe are looking to be the favorite right now on Temple of Anubis. I think they are going to have some... Their players are going to more fit the comps that you want to see coming in from Tater Tots. I think the big thing that we're going to have to see is if Tenchi and Red Hood Kitty can synergize well here and beat Jag and McBrantis.
And readies are coming out, and as we jump in,
there we go.
I would like to present the Overwatch Oasis League word of the day. Ebullient. Ebulliient, ebullient. It is an adjective meaning to be boiling or agitated, and is having or showing liveliness and enthusiasm. Ebullient, which I feel is a pretty fitting word of the day given who is on the desk today, Kirby.
Yeah, perhaps maybe some of these teams are feeling little ebullient right now. Tater Tots.
We are so good at our jobs.
Bounce back here on Temple of Anubis. Yeah, dang. Trying to get all these big words to make us sound smart. Even if we use them wrong, no one's gonna question it. Like,
what are you gonna do? Notice? So here we have
spell the words.
Demo here on that Junkrat to lock down that high ground, lock down those chokes into that Mystic to keep Crossfire ticking along at Happy, and of course Cat, I assume, going to take a very safe background position here on the Ana. Or, no, I'm wrong. Just going to set up right on top. Nope, there it is. Going to set up on that back high ground. So it is going to be up to Tenchi and Kitty to make sure that they play within the LOS of the Ana. On the other hand, Symmetra strat, Kirby.
And I just want to say that I was completely wrong about the Kosmic Omnics. Our Demo is going to play the Junkrat. Crossfire is going to play that long-range hit scan. Interesting development here. But our Demo has shown to be very good on the Junkrat as well.
Ooh, Psycho, so now taking a little bit longer than it would have liked to set up the teleporter, but the team does get out unscathed, and they have switched sides. Now desperately trying to push this narrow choke onto point, collapsing onto Kitty so quickly. Oh, those hands can't eat that beam. Oh my goodness, but the DPS here on the side of Kosmic Omnics getting so much work done, and it looks like they might have just made this work here. That purple, the Bionic being splashed on the Tenchi is going to be absolutely brutal as well. And just the DPS here remaining, and Taters are sent packing back to spawn.
Yeah, Psycho Mantis not able to get as much value in the long fight as I think he was hoping for there. He did get a couple of initial pickoffs that did help, but in addition to a great res by Into the Mystic, Red Hood Kitty with great shield placement to make sure their team was protected. I also think that we saw Organic Kale go in a little too deep to try and take out Tenchi there. They did take him down, but they also left themselves long.
Very, very big dynamite coming out on the side of Crossfire to pick out Organic Kale. Now taking that duel against the far in the air. Psycho Mantis not too much cover here. Going to take a lot of damage and is forced to back up as it looks like the attack might just stall a little bit. Jagex kind of out there by themselves as Yuki focusing most of their healing over onto the Zarya. But no worries, McBrantis is full health, but Jag is nanoed. And now the tank line is swinging and pushing away at Tenchi, who shatters but is going to be taken down. Kitty desperately trying to hold on, is going to get beamed down as well. As it looks like Taters have cracked the point open with 2 minutes on the clock.
And that was a great sleep dart by Yuki Ishida because Tenchi actually hit a nice shatter, but Red Hood Kitty was the only one that was in position to follow up, and that's what they got the sleep on. Great play from Yuki Yoshida right there, I know. And into the Mystic, almost got the most remarkable res to turn that around, but it wasn't quite enough. Again, great seed from Yuki Yoshida.
Oh, really good spam damage coming up from Dima over here. Kosmic Omnics are going to be able to hold on to all their ultimates this fight, which are coming out to 3 now, Kirby.
But we do see several ults coming online for Tater Tots. I think the main win condition here is to use the tank ults to win the fight initially, to have the DPS ults in order to finish the cap, because obviously, you know, TCP and the recontest, that would be the ideal scenario here, is that McBrantis' grab or Jag Shatter is big enough to win just off the back of that.
Oh my goodness, Dima with a very ballsy move, giving their life up for a triple kill on the tire. Shadow coming out from Jag, might be too little too late. The resurrection is there from Cat as well, so both supports still online. Brantis being bionated as well. Really, really aggressive play here on the side of our Dima, dropping right into that backline and letting the tire rip for a triple kill. And Kitty didn't use the flux, which means ults look so very good here on the side of Kosmic, because like you said, in an even fight, the defending team almost always comes out on top.
Oh no, and Jag must have used the Shatter in there. Well, I don't know about that. Now they've only got the Nano Blossom here, which could win them the fight, but with so many counter ults on the side of Kosmic Omnics, I'd almost maybe recommend Tater Tots maybe play a dry fight here and try and win before having to use the Death Blossom.
Well, Cat being taken out could have changed everything now. Blossom is going to come through. The Nano is not, but it doesn't really matter. That backline is being torn to shreds. My goodness, the Nano is now going to come out onto absolutely nobody as Yuki eats a rock to the face, and eventually it is going to be onto Organicia, who cuts Red Hood Kitty down. That Flux able to slow the bleeding, but not able to stop anything. Crossfire now onto the Desperation Bastion pick, being forced back into spawn as the sound barrier is not committed onto from Asbelia as well. And it's just going to be okay. Dima with another big tire coming out here could be absolutely enormous. Crossfire now in that backline, try to canceling Jag's Shatter there. My goodness, Kosmics have turned this around. I don't know how they've done it, but KO still are able to hang on to the point.
Man, and Crossfire barely got out of the fight alive. Jag was trying every possible swing to take him down. I think had the Fire Strike on cooldown as Crossfire got back into spawn, and that's unfortunate. And that's where only having 1 or 2 ults is it just hurts the attacking team, as you don't really have any other way to have quick cleanup there. And, well, you know 2CP, if you don't have quick cleanup, the spawns are going to come back to fight you.
I don't envy anybody playing against the Bastion Junkrat DPS line here, as Demo is going to trap Jagex, who eventually is going to get taken down. Yuki not having the greatest time either. Was that a grab committed?
Yeah.
Kirby, I have some quite follow-up questions then. If you said yes to that, why, how, when, where, who? What?
Yeah, big mistake there from McBrantis. I don't even necessarily have a justification for that one. Should have known that 2 of his teammates were down. Yeah, that's one of their win conditions gone. He might not be able to build up another one before this round ends. That's unfortunate, because that's a huge ult to have as a win condition.
To give that up while you have the barrage is absolutely brutal. Taters once again are being forced to back up. Psychomantis with the barrage ready to go and nothing to combo it with. Maybe you can nano Psycho and do and bump. Yeah, if we're able to make this work, you're gonna have to bubble him. You're gonna have to make sure that you pocket him with those honor heals, just to make sure Crossfire isn't able to cut them down in an instant. This is going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. A grab, like we said, could have been a game changer here, but McBrantis throwing that earlier could have absolutely foiled any hopes Tater Tots had for a big play.
The big thing is if Organic Chaos can build up this tire, they still have a chance.
Red Hood Kitty on Psycho Mantis like white on rice, and it is going to be brutal. Kitty just following Psycho Mantis around, pestering him the entire time, and the moment the barrage came out, the Matrix was there, and our Jagex is going to get walled off the point. Yeah, I mean, not that it was going to change anything and turn anything around, but that is a little brutal. Kosmic Omnics looking very clean for the time being.
Yeah, Tenshi took a really calculated risk there going aggressive, but got the pick that opened it up, and KO did a great job at camping those res spots. Asbelia could have tried to get the res maybe, but I definitely think it would have been a death sentence as well, especially with, you know, the Mei and the Junkrat in play. So, great job from KO knowing their win condition, knowing they couldn't let them res, knowing that they needed to go aggressive there with the tire advantage. That was huge, and our team able to take out one. I don't think Organic KO was able to build up that tire, so very unfortunate. And here it is, folks, the Psycho Mantis Bastion.
Okay. Psycho Mantis on that Bastion, still in spot. And now switching over to the Hanzo. Can someone pause the game and DM Psycho Mantis to switch back over at their earliest convenience, please? McBrantis on that Sigma is going to give that high ground plenty of protection as well.
I've made my thoughts pretty clear about this on the podcast. Like, you know, obviously Bastion considered one of the cheese characters, but at the same time, I don't look down on teams that use it, because I more so look down on the teams that can't counter it, because there are a lot of ways that you can counter the Bastion comp. You just play smart and effective with your team. You know, I wouldn't have minded Psycho Mantis being on the Bastion there, challenging Kosmic Omnics to be, hey, you need to beat us, we're not going to beat ourselves.
I'm gonna question how that Mercy got picked off there, as Belia probably not positioning as well as they possibly could have, given that as Mercy, you shouldn't really even be able to make eye contact with the enemy that early on in the fight. Demo, oh my goodness, that's a very aggressive push, and they do end up paying with their lives for it, but on point A of 2 CP, trades are going to go in favor of the attacking team, and that's exactly what's it looking like here. Organic Kill eats a hammer to the face. Eventually, the dart is going to finish them off as well. McGrantis with the hands up, but the hammer being there is going to be pretty brutal, and the shatter coming out as well. Tenshi's unstoppable with a triple kill. Kosmic Omnics have secured the point with a monster time bank.
Definitely don't think they needed that, though. They were definitely going to win the fight without that, so... But then again, sometimes, as that main tank, you want to assert your damn dominance. Make Jag second guess his shatters, maybe he goes more aggressive. And ooh, here we go, Organic Kale already found a good chance for Kosmic Omnics.
Alright, both sets of dragons coming out here. The nano boost is going to be committed onto Tenshi as well. Really good timing with the dragons to make sure Tenshi wasn't able to get that aggressive for the most of the duration of that nano. Crossfire getting a pick here though could be absolutely enormous, as Demo and Baby Mech Kitty on point somehow manages to remech, eats the shatter, but oh my goodness, Tenshi to the rescue with the pin. That looks like it's going to be it on the side of Taters. A very ballsy res is going to come out, and Psycho Mantis being back in the fight could be absolutely crucial. The Hanzo getting so much work done. That's an enormous res and an enormous double kill. Yuki being beamed down by Demo though, and Kitty still on the point, absolutely unstoppable. Jag X now over onto that ball, desperately trying to hold on, swinging and spinning around. No progress, no ticks on the board yet for the Kosmic Omnics.
Man, we just praised Kosmic Omnics for knowing the Mercy was part of their win condition, taking the Mercy out, and that time they let Asbelia get right under their noses. Res Psycho Mantis, he paid all the dividends, got 2 picks, exactly what they needed to turn that team fight around, and not even a tick for Kosmic Omnics. That's a really tough pill to swallow for them.
Well, Organic Kill once again being the first one to be picked off here, but a little bit of a revenge kill is going to come out. The resurrections are going to be online from both sides. That fight was crazy, and Taters are obviously going to be very happy that they hung on to the point. Most important, not most importantly, not as important, but still crucial here, is that they kind of reset the ult economy. They're matching KO for ult economy for the time being.
Yeah. Red and Kitty not on that Eva this time, so they don't have to grab dragons that they can use to combo.
Well, Cat is going to be taken down, and Tenshi's going to be chunked down so very low. Both DPS ults for 2 kills, and Demo getting the trade there. Not the worst thing for KO, because now they have 6 ultimates online.
Ooh, hold on, and they're actually still getting some picks. McBrantis
no! So now KO are able to fully commit to this. Dragons being unleashed as well. Kitty being demeched while having Diva Bomb is a questionable play here. Mines are coming out here. Picks are coming out left and center. All this chaos on point. And the duplication is going to come out onto that Junkrat on the side of Diva, who gets taken out nice and early on. No worries. Echo has more burst damage anyways. They get chunked down to half, and a really, really big missed opportunity. Given that you just demech McBrantis, you walk away from that fight and then you push 6v5 after you get a full fight, but they were just a little bit over aggressive there, and all of a sudden 6 ultimates turns back to just the one measly Diva Bomb, Kirby. I am a little disappointed.
Two of those ultimates, I mean, got absolutely no value. Tenchi didn't hit anyone with the Shatter. The Dragons were kind of in a bad spot. It did split the team, but there wasn't enough players to capitalize on it.
When Demo never got an ultimate online. Demo using the dupe wasn't able to do anything. So, like you said, over half of the ultimates being used, getting 0 things done. That's got to be pretty brutal. On the bright side, though, still 2 minutes of the clock, Kirby.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, look at all the ults coming online for Tater Tots. If they can manage these ultimates just right, they might be able to retake the lead here and get the big hold on point.
Diva Bomb being caught on the ledge means it's not going to go as far as Kitty was intending it to. And we have just Brantis desperately trying to protect Organic Kale in this side room, given that the Riptire is almost online, but Organic Kale unable to charge that up in time here. Brantis getting a pick onto Crossfire as well. Immortality Fielder just to help as Beely get the resurrection off. Once again, total mayhem and chaos on point here, and it looks like Kosmic Omnics are once again going to back out.
And another great fight from Tater Tots. Only had to use the mines and the dragons. They'll have the tire coming up. Both teams are gonna have the tire. That's gonna be the win condition here. But the big thing is that Yuki on that Baptiste, there's a way to stop Crossfire's tire. Kosmic Omnics might not have as many options.
There's looks like KO going for another push off that right side, which is risky given all the AoE damage coming out from the Junkrat and the Echo. Into the Mystic now is going to unleash the Coalescence, and 2 tires now being played out as Crossfire, getting a double kill after dodging the Immortality Field. Diva Bomb coming out of not find anybody tension, walking straight into a trap. Demo now duping over onto that Diva, forced to use that Diva Bomb early on, not taking anybody out, but Jagex now has no barrier, and Kitty is going to cut them down. Crossfire in the backline is correct, Kirby, getting so much work done. Believe that's a double kill coming online nice and early on. Yuki with that window free firing and taking to take out Kitty here. Immortality Field is going to be available, but oh no! Getting pushed out of the ammo field means the bomb is going to find 2, and Kosmic Omnics.
Was that a concussion mine?
It might have been. That's absolutely Giga Brain.
Play of the game.
Wow, I thought that was Tater Tots winning the map there with that Immortality Field, because that was the last ultimate that Kosmic Omnics had to their name there, but it was just good enough, and a great job from these DPS on the side of Kosmic Omnics. Of course, Crossfire basically almost at their spawn, getting 2 kills in the backlines. Our Demo finding picks on the Echo, staying alive in a lot of those fights. That's huge as an Echo to, you know, those cooldowns are pretty quick, and the more you're alive, the more you're able to just spam out those sticky bombs and those focusing beams. That can do a lot of damage if you don't take out the Echo quickly enough. So great job by those DPS. That was incredibly close there.
And if I'm being honest, it should never have been anywhere near that close, Kirby. KO, kind of their worst enemies there on that attack.
Oh yeah, for sure. They were kind of throwing ults, kind of just in the garbage, honestly, but they did enough there at the end. And this is kind of the interesting thing about these two teams, is we're almost getting a complete opposite, where Kosmic Omnics, they're really good at finding these opening picks, taking these off angles with DPS, and, you know, getting into those backlines, taking out the healers. But the Tater Tots are really good at, when the fight is kind of broken down, they're good at finding the openings for their ultimates and turning team fights around in that sense. So you kind of have this clash of Kosmic Omnics are able to force out like the Tater Tots to use their ultimates in maybe less advantageous positions, but since Cosmic Omnics aren't taking advantage of their ultimates, it just kind of evens out, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And I'm not surprised that this series is 2-1, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go to a map 5.
Both teams just taking a second before posting their lineups, just taking a bit of a break after what must have been an incredibly tiring fight to experience. Watching it was crazy enough. I'm going to take a quick bio break, Kirby, as we wait for the swaps to come through. I'll be right back.
So of course, don't forget, the winner of this game will have the 6th seed locked down and a date with Prodigy Noobs in the first round of the playoffs. Loser will almost certainly get the 8th seed, except if Cosmic Omnics lose in a map 5 scenario, then Diving Phoenix will go down to the 8th seed. So it'll be interesting. One thing I think that is worth noting in terms of the playoff race is maybe wanting to avoid that 7 seed right now. Valhalla picking up some of those White Walker players. They're going all in this season. They want that championship, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it. And yeah, the best way to, obviously you're going to need to beat a bunch of good teams in the playoffs, but even to have some of the better teams in the playoffs, giving them more chances to maybe get upset or, taken out early is going to be huge. And I think the difference between the 6 and 7 seed is actually pretty massive right now. Not that Prodigy Noobs would be a easy game by any stretch. It will absolutely not, but I definitely think that Valhalla might actually be, with these new pickups, the favorite to win it all. And to avoid that team is probably the goal. Okay, we do see both of the lineups. Cosmic Omnics are actually going to bring Pokin in here. They're going to be with Cross, so Cross playing all the maps here today on DPS. Tenchi and Kitty also going to play all the maps here on Tank. I guess we could still go to map 5, obviously. I would imagine both of those will stay in, though. And Demo gonna come back in to play some support with Cat. So Cat also playing all the maps tonight. As for Tater Tots, Nerdy Buttercat's coming back in. We're gonna see the McBrantis Nerdy combo once again. We saw that on Blizzard World, so definitely their choice of tank composition on the escort style maps. Unsurprisingly, Psycho Mantis and Organic Kale are going to stay on DPS, and Mugen Cypher going to come back in for Blizzard World. So the exact same lineup that they had on
the
Blizzard
Sombra
World
Wizard actually coming back in. Just a last minute switch up. AJ's going to be in for Pokin.
Okay. So I think both of these teams actually running the exact same thing they had on Blizzard World. As we get ready to head on over to Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Just waiting for some readies to come through now. Watchpoint Gibraltar, another, even more dive-centric than what we saw earlier on Blizzard World. So maybe even expect some dive, counter dive to be happening. The double bubble's still viable, but correct me if I'm wrong, Kirby. I don't think we saw either one of these teams even bothering to experiment with double bubble so far this series.
Nope, pretty much. When we saw the Winston, we saw the Diva, so running more of that traditional dive. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Nerdy Buttercat and McBrantis are coming back in. Maybe this time they'll try the double bubble, because McBrantis does have a good Zarya as well. But I would imagine for sure here on Tater's attack that they're going to run some Winston Diva. And a quick question, do I swap these again?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I feel like we haven't been doing that sometimes. So I'll get these names changed once again.
Does anybody actually use the controller touchpad to type function? I know it's available, but
oh,
yeah,
that
so
is a thing.
you can swipe your finger to type on the keyboard, which I feel is a little silly, but I guess like more options are always good for accessibility. If
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
maybe it's harder for some people to press the buttons, so they have that option in to.
Especially like if it's like
touchpad.
You have someone in the house that games, and then you have somebody who is handicapped that like uses the PlayStation for like Netflix. I guess that's always helpful. But actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. You know what really annoys me, Kirby? And I'm glad I have this platform of 30 viewers watching on this Friday morning with me. Why is Netflix and YouTube keyboards ABCD keyboards? Do you know how difficult it is for me to find my shows when I use my PlayStation? It boggles the mind that anything but QWERTY keyboards are accepted. My goddamn McDonald's iPad where I order my Maccas has a QWERTY keyboard. What? It makes me very upset, Kirby.
Yeah, at this point, the classic traditional keyboard layout should probably be the standard at this point. I mean, it's what we learn in school, you know.
But it's also that
everyone here has taken some form of a typing class.
Well, not only that, it's also that like YouTube and Netflix have their that's their own keyboard. Like they could very easily have not designed a keyboard and then just let the PlayStation default keyboard be put in, and they chose to use their own horrible garbage trash can doo-doo keyboard instead. And
that's funny.
It's just one of those things that should for like 3 multi-billion-dollar companies coming together. This is a very, very silly thing that we have to complain about.
I don't know, something about being different, setting yourself apart.
Skittles mad in chat
setting themselves
because YouTube should be pinned to home. We'll circle back to that, Skittle. You absolutely have a point here, but anime is on the Widow instead of the Sombra to open this point off, Kirby.
Maybe looking for the initial pick, as Crossfire is actually going to be on the Genji here. Ooh, our demo on the Zen as well. You love to see it. And we are going to see the dive coming out from Kosmic Omnics, Winston Diva. Right now, looks like Taters are up on the high ground. And we're actually gonna see Nerdy Buttercat drop down right now. Crossfire able to take out Mugen Cypher. That is a massive pick here. Immortality Field expended by Yuki Yoshida, but a nice anti-nade from Cat onto Nerdy Buttercat and McBrantis. 2 cats in this game right now, actually on opposite sides, and that will be the first team fight being won by Kosmic Omnics.
Kosmic Omnics played it extremely intelligently, and the space opened up by Anime meant that a lot of the attention was diverted over onto that Widow, trying to play those sight lines. Organic Kale and Psycho Mantis spending a lot of time trying to spam them out, meaning Crossfire was able to get a lot of work in. But now all of a sudden the fight looks turned around here.
Organic Kale, that's 3 picks in this team fight. Turret in a very, very cheeky location, and that's a good stabilization here from Taters, and this might be what they need here, is to get the full hold onto point A, stop the payload right here right now to make sure they get that map 5, but a lot of ults from both sides actually. The big one, of course, Crossfire, having that blade online.
Yeah, KO have the nano blade. We're going to have to play around a flashbang and immortality field, and sooner or later molten core, Kirby. This could be pretty tough.
Yep. AJ did swap to the Sombra in order to get the EMP. That's actually Tenchi initiating with the Primal Rage, getting Psycho Mantis completely out of here and getting the pick. There's the Shatter from Dirty Buttercat, but in response, Ardemo is going to use the Transcendence. Molten Core also coming out from Organic Kale, but it's not quite enough. The Transcendence was too good. Teamfight still up for grabs. McBrant is hacked. There goes the self-destruct, and Yuki Yoshida goes down. Nanoblade almost certainly gonna come out. Actually, might not. They probably don't even need to use the blade. And yeah, Organic Kale here on the point, just him and his turret, and he's gonna go down, and that will be point A, captured by Kosmic Omnics.
What really slowed Kosmic Omnics up there was Cat watching that fight with 80% ult charge and just through some positioning errors or just through some bad luck mostly, it took a very long time to charge up the rest of that nano, so that by the time that nano came out, that window for Nano Blade had shut, and Crossfire was putting themselves in some pretty risky positions just waiting for the nano to come through, and we never ended up seeing the nano blade. What we do have now is an EMP blade coming up here. No big defensive ultimate, so it's going to be up to Yuki to stay in a very safe position and doesn't dodge it.
It gets all 6. Crossfire gonna hack and slash in the backline, taking out both Kale and Mugen Cypher. That's also easy pickings for Tenchi, who takes out Nerdy Buttercat. And that is how you continue a snowball on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, once again, like I said, Yuki, you mean you're just playing around that immortality field to keep you alive there, but Yuki unable to make that work. And that was Curtains. EMP Blade, pretty straightforward take there. Now coming up though, huge ultimates going on for Taters. They should be able to burn a lot of time here, over 4 minutes on the clock.
Psycho Mantis gonna pop the Deadeye, able to take out the Zenyatta, and now is getting Dolbon, has to be careful. That's 3 players on him. He is not going to survive that, but maybe it'll get the opening for the rest of the teammates. Retro Kitty is out of mech. Payload continues to move though, and Taters are respecting the positioning of Omnics right now. Now Dirty Buttercat trying to go forward, will get stunned by Crossfire. There's the Diva Bomb coming out from McBrantis. In response, Ardemo going to use the Transcendence maybe more aggressively to try and help Cosmic Omnics to go aggressive here. Organic Kale using the Molten Core. Ardemo goes down once again. Still not quite as definitive as you would hope for Tater Tots, and now with both DPS ults online for Cosmic Omnics, they're going to be able to quickly re-engage. We do see AJ up here trying to get in position to use that EMP, almost certainly gonna go for another EMP bomb. Here it comes.
That's absolutely wonderful, but they hide.
It was a good immortality field from Yuki Yoshida as well, and Anime Weave AJ does go down. Tenchi using the Primal Rage, gets 2, and Crossfire on the flank, gets 2 with the High Noon. Only Mugen Cypher on the point here, and they're just gonna stagger him. Look at that beautiful play there to take out Mugen Cypher, and is anyone even gonna be able to contest? No. Psycho Mantis had the High Noon available, almost certainly would have been shut down in some form, but that will be a great time bank here for Cosmic Omnics as they look to close out this series and get the win.
Yeah, match point 9, Cosmic Omnics looked really clean. They're able to chain their ultimates, able to just, well, I mean, Anime on that Sombra is absolutely unstoppable. Consistent 6-man EMPs coming out. Now, the EMP bomb at the end wasn't as spectacular as they had hoped, but the fact that you get one pick, you snowball everybody else, that's fair enough. You don't really need a 6-man bomb there, and Kitty definitely delivered. Crossfire playing extremely well as well, and Tenchi on the Monkey was able to create so much space. Very, very good use of the Primal Rage as well to cause a lot of problems. A lot of Yuki and Mutancy Cypher here spending a lot of attention on that Monkey, trying to keep themselves alive rather than try to keep their team healed up.
Attackers Incoming.
So, Psycho Mantis, once again, flashing the Bastion. Are they going to go for a pirate ship this time around? Still have time in spawn to consider what they want to do, but we are going to see Kosmic Omnics continue to run the dive here on defense, certainly.
The legs being locked here
dive.
is interesting, given that an Asher McCree is the preferred go-to here. Maybe hoping for just a consistent damage and playing a little more split from the team here, Crossfire, using the healing pad to keep themselves up. Psycho Man, oh my goodness, it's real. It's an actual pirate ship.
Double barrier as well with Orisa. Red Hood Kitty already trying to contest, and a great couple of kills here from Crossfire, taking out both of the DPS. Mugen Cypher able to res Organic Kale, but the damage might be done. Our Demo able to take out Nerdy Buttercat. That's a lot of shielding for this comp. Red Hood Kitty did go in a little too deep. Yuki Yoshida down from Anime Weeb AJ. Anime Weeb AJ getting 2 kills. Organic Kale just not having a good time right now.
Yeah, you see Demo getting a little bored of free firing and just walking onto the point and getting a melee kill as well. But for most of that fight, sitting completely uncontested on that high ground, looking at this team composition, there really isn't anybody that's going to be able to bother this Zenyatta for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for sure. Psycho Mantis going to swap on to the Mei here. Hopefully that will get them a way to find those opening picks that they need. Immortality Field expended early from Cat. Red Hood Kitty going in too deep once again, getting frozen by Psycho Mantis. Adam Mech. There goes Tenchi, has the Primal Rage available and is going to use it, but is frozen. Focusfire isn't quite there. Hack onto McBrantis, Nerdy Buttercat with the Discord Orb. Tenchi still in the backlines here, trying to just cause as much havoc as they can. Psycho Mantis might be in trouble as Crossfire waiting for them to get out of a cryo freeze and will take them out. Mugen Cypher going to be able to get the res, has to be careful for Red Hood Kitty. Red Hood Kitty actually is the one that's going to need to be careful, and Psycho Mantis already building up the Blizzard. Red Hood Kitty is down. But that is the only pick they got out of it, and they will get the payload to continue to move, but still a lot of people here, including Tenchi in the back line. No one is none the wiser from Tater Tots. He does need healing, though.
Anime with the EMP as well. Kitty's not too far off the bomb, so you'd expect they try to wait for that to come online. Very chaotic fight, a lot to break down. Demo uncontested and able to swoop in with the Transcendence to sustain was absolutely crucial as well. Kitty getting demeched here is going to be absolutely brutal. No Diva bomb here, but Weeb still with the EMP.
And there it is. It gets all
Catches 6 again, Kirby!
Unbelievable, but it might not be enough. No one can contest the point. The brawl from the Mei and the Reaper was just too much for Kosmic Omnics to handle, and that is going to be point B captured by Tater Tots.
That is not the first time a 6-man EMP has resulted in no wins, and I think Kitty might have been, I mean, so far this defense, Kitty has shown that she's could be a little bit trigger happy. They're going in on the Diva. Not for the first time getting demeched early on, and that's going to really cost Cosmics there.
This time, both these Reapers have the Death Blossom available, and Red Hood Kitty immediately making up for the slight feeding by getting 2 kills with the Diva Bomb. Our Demo going to be able to save Tension here, also using the Primal Rage to get these last couple of kills. Organic Kale not having a good time here in the Defender's original spawn, and that will be Kosmic Omnics able to get the stabilization.
Kirby, I don't know if you caught this, but we caught this on camera. We actually hacked the Rhine. Nerdy Buttercat was hacked to death there because they were perfectly positioned right in front of the Diva Bomb to block it for everybody. But once again, really, really good timing. No EMP, no problem. Very good coordination. This team knows exactly how to play next to a Sombra.
And a great Immortality Field from Yuki Yoshida, but it's just not enough. Immortality Field is never the first option you want against a Death Blossom, and Crossfire made them pay. He gets 4 kills in that team fight. We didn't see the Taters use any ultimates there. They have a lot on their plate, and they're going to need to use them quickly, though, as it's unfortunate that they lost another team fight without being able to use any of them.
6 ultimates coming online as well. I believe the Shatter's going to open it up, and there it is, Kirby.
Yep, and it takes out Cat, and they're able to focus on that. An Organic Kale with a nice follow-up with the Death Blossom gets both of these tanks. Our demos down as well, and that will be point B being captured for Tater. So they're not done yet here either. Looking to capture all 3 points themselves and give themselves a chance to get this to a map 5.
Cat being forced to jump off the map to reset there is going to be brutal, as now we're going to just reset their positioning up onto this high ground bridge here. Not too far up, another EMP, the bomb is coming online as well. A great hack to cancel the flux!
Ooh, nice job. That's a massive ult not available now for the Tater Tots. There's the Blizzard though. Good immortality field from Yuki Yoshida, but Crossfire will go down. I thought they were definitely inside of the immortality field, which was very interesting. Might have to get a
bomb goes out.
On that. And here comes the EMP bomb. Once again, it's massive. That's 4 kills for Red Hood Kitty. And that will be the stabilization from KO. And now we will for sure see KO have the superior time bank if Taters are able to capture all 3 points.
I mean, you have the McCree, you have the Reaper, you have the D.Va able to spy check effectively. There is no excuse for eating that many D.Va EMP bombs over and over again, especially we're now at the point of the map where there's a lot of natural cover. Now, the good thing is that Anime's nowhere close to it, but Tenshi's just going to toss this team around. That's ridiculous. Okay, Kosmic Omnics have found the flow state and they're not letting it go.
Yeah, Psycho Mantis able to take out Cat with a nice headshot, but that's all they really got, and that's a huge fight for Kosmic Omnics, as they didn't really have to use any ults other than the Primal. They're coming up on this next fight with the Tire and the Transcendence.
Well, Crossfire hiding with the Tire as well. They have no idea that that Junkrat is there. Triangle,
oh, no.
There it is, it comes
Here
out,
it is.
boom, Yuki taking
Only
out nice and early on.
Though. But great cancellation on the res from Crossfire onto Mugen Cypher, and that is almost certainly another teamfight victory here for Kosmic Omnics, and only about a minute left for Taters. They need to find a way to get this payload all the way to the end to at least give themselves a chance to win this map.
Purple is going to connect onto Brantis, but the follow-up is not going to be there. The nano onto that monkey could be the game changer here coming up here, but Anime being taken down now all of a sudden means a lot of that harassment factor is not going to be there for Kosmic Omnics.
Comes EMP, great immortality field from Yuki, but once again another immortality field seemingly not saving a player that was under it. Maybe was just barely outside of it. Here comes McBrantis using the D.Va bomb. It's not going to find anyone, and Nerdy Buttercat is going to be able to find that. Nerdy Buttercat falls, and this is last teamfight territory, and Mugen Cypher is going to be able to get the res onto Yuki, but that's 2 kills for both of these tanks. Only 5 seconds remaining. I think that's going to be it, folks. Cosmic Omnics are going to win the series. Psycho Mantis and Yuki Yoshida both go down. Only Nerdy Buttercat on the point, as well as McBrantis. There's the Tire from Crossfire, and that is going to be it, folks. Just McBrantis on the point. Mugen Cypher here too. Can they possibly get a miracle res? Not looking like it, as that is the hack onto Mugen Cypher. Somehow still alive on the point here. I don't know how the hell they lived that long.
The EMP just deflects is brutal.
Yeah. Psycho Mantis and Yuki, the last ones here. Oh, actually, ball almost able to touch. And that will be Cosmic Omnics winning their final game of the season, securing that 6th seed and a date with Prodigy Noobs in the first round of the playoffs. And that will also guarantee Tater Tots get the 8th seed and will meet Stardust Crusaders in the first round. Diving Phoenix then will battle Valhalla in the first round. That was actually a close game back when they played. And then I Need Healing and We the Ops will be the 4 versus the 5 seed. So all the playoffs have been set, and it's going to be an exciting one, I think.
So first of all, I just want to point out how much fun it has been to run cams for this past map, because all the big combos that were supposed to connect did connect, and it's just been very rewarding running around trying to make sure I capture everything and getting the right POV set up. But really good work from both teams here. Kosmic Omnics just got stronger and stronger as the series went on. Tater Tots kind of played themselves in a little bit of trouble, and Kosmic Omnics just ironed out those mistakes, and Tater Tots unfortunately were not able to. So props to Kosmic Omnics. Like you said, we now have our Tier 3 playoff bracket set. So no interviews this evening, as I do have to bounce very quickly, but let's wait for some nominations to come in before we decide on an MVP. How we feeling, chat?
Man, for me, I actually feel like the MVPs kind of came out in favor of Kosmic Omnics, honestly. There is one player that I definitely could mention for Tater Tots, though, that I think might have earned it as well, but we did see a lot of great performances from the members of Kosmic Omnics here.
Yeah, as I am looking around, it looks like, I feel like Anime kind of walks away with that without much of a debate. The Sombra was absolutely out of this world, and I think Demo on support also really stood out to me.
See, I was actually thinking Cat for support. They were hitting so many great anti-nades on that Ana, playing the Baptiste as well, great immortality fields. It's close. Both of these supports for Kosmic Omnics were playing really well. It's interesting that you bring up that AJ is the obvious choice, because I was actually thinking maybe of giving DPS MVP to Organic Kale, actually, who did have quite a good performance as well. Obviously, you got to shout out Crossfire as well. He played all 4 maps and was very consistent throughout this series. I was definitely thinking AJ as well, so definitely a lot of people to consider right now. I am interested to see, okay, AJ and Kitty for Psycho and Yuki.
So for the tank line, I was actually thinking either Tenchi or Brantis. I think.
See, that's.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking Tenchi as well, because I always love to see when a player debuting can immediately impact a team for the better, and I think having that more consistent main tank play is going to be huge for Kosmic Omnics. He looked very good on the Winston and on the Ryan. He's had some pretty solid synergy with Red Hood Kitty. I still think they need to work some stuff out, especially with the rest of the team as a whole. Sometimes it's not even necessarily the tank duo that needs to get the synergy. It's the tanks duo and the rest of the team that kind of need to be the ones to get together. But obviously Tenchi getting the win here in their debut. Great game.
Yeah, for me, I think Tenchi kind of takes it there. I think Kitty had the flashier plays, but occasionally, like we mentioned, she just was caught in a positioning here and there. So higher highs and lower lows than Tenchi, and I think Tenchi just edges it there. And like I said, Demo and Anime get my votes here. I think that they had an extremely clean series. I think while Crossfire and Psycho and Organic Kale all played very well, Anime Weeb AJ just was able to do things on the Sombra that I don't think most other Sombra players in the league can do, with how quickly those EMPs were charging, how consistently those were 6-man EMPs, and the ability to kind of make every single hack count and to get out alive. Anime Weeb never really died that often, and a lot of Sombras overstay their welcome every now and then. It's an error that happens, and Anime was able to iron that out of their game.
Man, I agree with the tank and DPS right now, but man, I still want to vouch for Cat. I think they had an awesome performance tonight. Very, obviously wasn't showing up very much in the kill feed, but I think definitely playing some more of those impactful heroes right now in the meta, like the Ana and the Baptiste. Obviously, our Demo was playing the Zen there on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is a very impactful hero as well, but throughout the whole of the match, I'm leaning a little bit towards Cat, honestly.
Can we compromise and give Demo an honorable mention?
I guess I did kind of want to see what... No objections in the chat right now.
Yeah, it is close between Cat and Demo, but let's give Demo an honorable mention then.
Yes, I will be willing to give Artemo an honorable mention. Unfortunate for Tater Tots that they didn't quite get the that it kind of fell out, that they didn't really get any mentions. Obviously, Kale had a pretty good game. Psycho Mantis was their nomination, and even the tank line was pretty solid. But overall, I think Kosmic Omnics just had the overall better individual performances, which is why you kind of saw them win here tonight.
All right, then. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the series. Cosmic Omnics are able to take the win here in the Overwatch Oasis League 3-1, and that is the regular season here in Season 5 being concluded. And we have confirmed KO as our 7th seed, and Tater Tots as our 6th seed, sorry, and Tater Tots as our 8th seed. Your MVPs for the evening are Tenchi on the tank line, Anime on the DPS line, and Cat on the support line. And honorable mention goes out to Demo as well. My name is Charles Tang, joined at the desk here by Mr. Gaming Kirby. It has been an absolute pleasure to be on air tonight, and wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, good morning, good night. We'll see you again.
Thank you.